What is up? We are here at SRL 360 headquarters, and I am joined by Joshua Butterfield and Timothy James. How are you boys?
Yeah, good
Pretty
mate.
good,
Good mate. Doing good.
especially Timothy James.
Jim James. Yeah, but I've been good. I've been pretty good.
Yeah,
Keen on this episode tonight. Talk about the
Definitely.
finals.
yeah. Well, first we got the round seven recap, which the first game was Manly versus the Warriors, and we've actually got Matthew Harris join with us tonight as a guest. How are you, mate?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. How are we?
Yeah, good mate. Good.
Not bad. Not bad.
So he'll join us and chat about the Seagulls, what he thought on this game, and like what he thinks on the finals and all that. Um, so so Matt, what are your thoughts on the Manly's performance in this game?
I'd say we started off pretty slowly, and my boys know that in our voice chat as well. In that second half, though, we started to pull through defensively, and we just kept defending, which is what I like to see in my side. I like to give special rap to Will Kay. He had a blinder. It's his second man of the match performance in a row. Um, and Jesse Bennett played pretty well at lock as well before he got injured. That is.
Yeah, he played really well. I noticed that he was making some really nice breaks through the middle, which was really impressive to see for Jesse. What was your thoughts? What was your thinking around playing Bennett at lock? Was it kind of like a forced change, or was it kind of like a experiment?
See, initially the swap was actually to play safer for the injury wise, like for the injuries, which it didn't work out for Bennett. I wanted to lower my minutes because normally the locks get injured, and same with the fullbacks. I then did like a last minute interchange, which didn't go through, which would have like avoided injuries altogether. But that didn't go through. Bennett got injured. And honestly, him coming off the bench this week isn't the worst thing because the plan I have for him is still going to be pretty good. But it still just looks weird not having Bennett in that starting side.
Definitely.
Matty, I've got a question, mate. Asking from a captain's point of view, what do you think Manly did well to knock off Warriors? Like, what did your team do to stop Warriors?
I touched on it a little bit before, but it was just the defense. We kept covering for each other. Um, we didn't throw too many bad balls. I think we made two errors in the entire game. I think it was.
Yep.
We just played like good what's the word I'm looking for, like the game management from us was pretty good from Will Kay. Butters, he played well. Didn't get many kicks, never does,
No.
but he still played pretty well. 2 try assists, it was brilliant.
Yeah, he loves
But
to
yeah,
miss
we just
tackles. Loves to
Yeah.
miss some
Okay.
tackles, does he?
Who's in the finals?
Yeah,
we are.
open my mouth, should I?
What's
Yeah.
why is Butters not getting many kicks? Is like I can't really work it out.
Well, actually, I think that was probably the most kicks that I've had in a while. I think it's a lot around the AI of the game. They give more kicks to 5'8". I'm pretty sure.
I think it's
Um,
the playmaker 1, playmaker 2.
no, because
If if they're both in the same vicinity, it will give it to the P1 before the P2. But then some teams do like to use their 5'8s more. But you were in 5'8 that game, and we are a 5'8 heavy team, and it didn't
yeah,
happen still.
I'd I at 4 kicks and a half, which was pretty average. I mean,
I didn't really. The thing was though, like, I didn't really because when I played halves last season, I'm pretty sure I was P2. I don't think that really matters. I don't even know. It may just be on the based on the team or something.
yeah,
Must be team based.
My
it,
personal experience is the playmakers because I've noticed, like, when I think it was Butters and Kay starting, I had Kay as the playmaker one, and he got all the kicks. And then I took Butters off, put Lewis in, but made Lewis the P1 when he came on, and then Lewis started getting all the kicks.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
I'm going to hope it's that, because then there's at least a method to it, and you can kind of play around that.
Yeah.
Now, when you brought Kane on, you brought him into wing, I believe.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the plan for the rest of the finals? Just keep him on the wing rather than bring him on at fullback anymore?
At this point, he'll be on the wing, just because I do really like Butters and Kay in the halves together.
That's a fair choice.
And I don't want to put Dingo on the bench or at centre.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. I mean, what you could do is maybe like what's it? If you wanted to, you probably could put so what's the thinking? Well, actually, what's the thinking around Lewis? Why does he need to be playing hooker for next season? Like, because RLF4, from my experience, I don't really think there needs to be that much experience there. What's the kind of thinking around that? Have you already seen him there?
Well, we have a few options, actually. I do want him in the starting side, but I also really like Dingo at 5'8", Kane at fullback. So having him at hooker would be the only spot for him. That other option is just putting Dingo back at fullback and actually bringing in, which is a surprise packet for a hooker, but actually Creed. I reckon he would do pretty good there too.
Oh, Creed. So Creed can play dummy. What is Creed's positions? I haven't really noticed to him that much.
It's lock, prop,
Yeah.
and hooker.
Oh. It's been coming through the ranks. What kind
I
of
looked at his
archetype is he?
I believe he's a tackle machine.
Not a bad archetype for a hooker.
Exactly. His passing stats are pretty good. His speed's pretty good. He's got better stats than some of our actual hookers in the game.
Oh, wow.
Like, Creed actually just this week maxed out his sprint speed.
So he's a 99 sprint speed.
Oh, no. He's 85. It's the max for the week.
Oh, sorry. That's my bad.
Yeah.
I had to say, I was like, oh, come on, man. How is he getting out there?
Now, this is a little off topic, it's away from the footy, but what's the beef with Tim?
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's more Matt Harris. I think it's more Kane. I'm just not a fan of Kane. I'm not a fan of Kane and his little antics and all his shit that he does and says, and I don't know. He's just a grub and a cat. I'm not too sure what Matty's done.
I wouldn't call him a grub, but he is a bit cheeky, but so are you. But when you two are going at it, I'm always going to defend my boy, which is the whole reason why I stepped in.
Which is pretty gay, man. Like, that's pretty gay. Like,
I'm the captain. I'm gonna defend my boys.
Nah, it's alright. I don't think I've had beef with Matt. I think it's just more Kane. Like, I never even had beef with Kane until, I don't know, I realised how shit Manly were, like how much I didn't like him. So I think I just started hating on Kane, and then
Jealous.
Matt Harris just sort of jumped in. Started jumping in, backing his boys' beef. So I guess that's how he got into it, but I'm not too sure. I don't really care about Matt Harris, to be honest. I think it's just Kane. But I'm happy to put everything behind, start fresh. If you want.
I hope Kane is too. Like, I'd rather just have everyone all chill and playing some tough footy.
Yes.
And for me and Kane's sake, finals tough footy.
I think I was a bit butthurt from season 2's finals series where we got knocked out by Manly actually in the first round. So I was pretty butthurt about that. And I think that's what started it a little bit, eh?
I don't think anyone expected us to win that game at all.
No.
I think I come on the podcast the week prior saying, like, we're going to mark up on Eli. And even though he had a lot of meters and a try, we still kept him pretty quiet somehow.
Somehow, I mean, he was
Yeah.
playing pretty good too.
Eli, something I've really taken from this season is, well, I want to hear your take on it, Matt. What do you think on the fullback? So, why do you think that the fullbacks have been contained so much compared to last season where we've seen? So there's like, because Eli has been pretty much contained all season, where it's like, well, there's only about 2 or 3 fullbacks who I've been able to see consistently make it through the line. Like, what do you think? Is it just the forwards taking it over, or?
I feel like just the middle forwards, just over the season, they've upgraded their defensive stats, their strength, etc., just making it tougher for those fullbacks to get through. And there's still some that do still get through, and it's great to see. But I just feel like the whole lineup is just evening out now. Like, you even see the centers getting some good runs nowadays as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, there's only about like, I feel like it also comes from if your forward pack's dominating though, like fullbacks definitely take that and use it to their advantage. I feel like that's another attribute that goes into it. But what are you mostly scared of for the Cowboys game? Is there any particular players that you're really scared of more than the others?
Honestly, their back three gives me a bit of a worry. They're all max speed. So if they get through, it's going to be tough to stop. But then their forward pack's pretty damaging. I'm going to have my work cut out for me, but I'm up for the challenge.
I'm a little worried about Moana. I think he's going to be.
Yeah.
Moana always has like insane kick meters. Is always playing around the ball, and if he gets a line break, he's through. He is insanely quick for a half. I think he's pretty close to max speed for a half. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he is someone that if we can shut him down, I think it's going to be good.
Just
Pretty
limit
good
those
for us.
kick meters and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting for me. Something that's interesting is Chris Lord playing in the prop. Do you see maybe Lord moving to a mid-game swap to a lock role?
Like what I did last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Although it wouldn't work with the player they have, because I believe it's
Because
a primary
Thomas
hooker.
Wallace, yeah. I think Manly have a really nice. You guys have probably the only teams in the comp to have all your players are basically
Interchangeable.
yeah, they just fit second row prop lock. I think
Yeah,
Souths
that
have
was
only got
Bundy's
one
bad.
player for it.
Like when we got the choice to change our positions, I came up to all the boys that were in like second row locks. I'm like, hey, swap to prop. We'll bring in a couple of locks afterwards. Just if you switch to prop, we can just go anywhere in the forward pack, and that's very helpful. And then we got Blackburn a second row, so he's a cover for the backs. Then we got the 2 rookies in Creed and Ben that are locks, so they can cover hooker if we need it, along with prop as well.
One other thing that I wanted to ask from last thing, and I want to ask a lot of captains this, but are there any real player releases that you're kind of regretting?
All of them. I didn't want to let go of anyone, but the salary cap forced me
Oh,
to.
mate, just say Jackson Allison. You didn't regret getting rid of him, mate. So,
and another person, like biggest one for I think a lot of us was Bo Sadler, and just kind of wondering why you released him.
I don't think didn't you not even have to release Sadler because I'm pretty sure you had 1 silver free.
yeah.
Okay, so what happened was it was a mistake on my part, which I realized afterwards. But by the time I realized, Sadler already signed with the Broncos.
Oh yeah.
Like, once he put that handshake agreement, I'm like, all right. I remember trying to talk to Clay because we're actually really light on the outside backs next season. He wouldn't backflip. But
Makes
I
sense.
couldn't expect him to either. Like, I'm not going to try to force that onto anyone. And so yeah, we just have to go with a silver less. I think we have 4 silvers.
I think Clay was, from what I've heard, we wanted to keep Clay last season, but we couldn't. Well, we wanted to keep him the season previous, but he wasn't. Jai didn't think he'd be on the starting side because we wanted to keep favour to Mendonca and something. Mendonca on a wing, and then we played Moscow. But Moscow ended up not telling us he was going to leave, and then Buddy backflipped on us. And then Clay went to
Didn't
Manly.
Clay almost backflip?
No, well, Moscow. Clay wanted to stay after, but he'd already signed with you guys after Moscow, before Moscow had left. So it didn't really. It was kind of an unfortunate situation for Clay. I think he's always wanted to. Ever since then, he wanted to stay with us because the wing spot was open.
That's sad, actually.
I just hate when players don't tell you they're leaving. Like, that's just the worst part. Like, I can accept someone leaving as long as they tell me they're leaving.
That was me as well. Like, as soon as I found out that salary cap, I messaged my chat and just said, "Hey, everyone, let me know if you want to leave, want to stay." I messaged that knowing that I was still going to have to message a few and say you have to go. But it's always good to know what their options are, because like if someone comes to me and they want to stay but we can't let them stay, but they do have offers, it's like, all right, I don't feel so bad to let them go.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I think it was Clay. He said he had offers. I think it was Broncos made an offer to him, and then like he told me that I'm like, at the moment the plan is to keep you, and that's when I thought we could keep him. Then I thought we couldn't, and said, "No, we can't keep you." And then we ended up being able to keep him, but he already signed with the South. So it was just like, yikes! I don't normally screw up the salary cap a little bit, but this time I did.
I thought I thought you wouldn't screw it up because I knew that Manly usually never screw it up, and I'm like, oh, they're probably not going to screw it up. I thought for a second I'd screw it up because this season was my part to do this salary cap, all that crap. I thought I'd screwed it up, but somehow some of my rookies from this season still count as rookies from next season. I don't know what that is.
Oshay Ole, yeah.
Yeah, I think LA and Dranigan for some reason. Even though I'm pretty sure they've been here since the start of season 3. It doesn't make sense, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have 3 rookies for next season after letting Lomu go.
Jason,
like, if we kept Lomu, we would have been right on the salary cap point. It would have been perfect. But
Lamu would have been good for you guys, I reckon.
Oh, Bill Lamu.
Well, you got him now, Tim.
Yeah, I did hear.
Hang on. Is that just...
I think
Did Tim cut out?
Cut out. Yeah.
I think Tim's gone.
I thought that I'd cut out for a second. I'm like,
thought
what
I did.
happened?
Same here.
We won't get that insight from Tim, but yeah, Lamu is a great pickup for the Raiders. Like, I don't know, I think he's a solid player in general. That's why we switched him to the left this week. I think he needs more ball. I kind of regret in hindsight taking him off because I thought maybe because I saw what Cowboys did with Bunty Kambolo this previous night, and I thought he could do a similar job for the middle. And I was like, oh, we'll take him off. And then he made basically no impact for the middle. Maybe, but in fairness, he's probably not the same type of player Kambolo is.
I think what helped Kambolo was that speed aspect in the middle because he's max speed. I don't think Lamu is.
Let me check Lamu's speed. It is. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know how he's a 63 overall though, because he's been here season. Lamu was here in season 1, but I'm pretty sure those upgrades from season 1 don't count. Oh, actually, Lamu's stats aren't even on here because Komish hasn't put them on here.
Yeah, that's. I assumed he was under 99. I don't actually know.
We don't actually know what his stats are.
Like, I signed him based on performance alone. Didn't even look at stats. And a lot of the time, I like to look at the stats when I'm making a signing.
Yeah. That's pretty fair. I usually do that too, but some players just never put their stats in, and then you're like, oh, well, you can't see it. Something that's interesting for me is, have you seen Damien Shelford's off contract? That shocked me to see him still off contract. Like,
He's a 5'8" primary, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but he can play fullback,
Oh,
which is pretty good.
you're back to him.
Yeah, sorry. Keep getting interrupted by some people.
Fair. What were you saying before, Tim? Before you got out?
Oh, I was talking about how, Loma's coming to us. He's coming to the Raiders, but I thought he's going to Manly at first. And there's like some story behind it, and there was an argument. I'm not really a captain, so I didn't really get to see the entire story behind us getting Loma.
I wouldn't call it an argument, but there was a solid debate, and basically, if it wasn't for, like, Loma initially signed with Hughes, had the handshake agreement with Hughes, but then Hughes weren't able to fit him in.
Yeah.
And then we got him, but then with the whole discussion and all that stuff, there was an exception made. And I'm like, well, I'll play my part in that and let him go to you, as long as the other two clubs got the exception as well, so everyone could get it. And in the end, Manly was the only side affected negatively by it, which I did ask for compensation with the draft with that, but I got denied. Fair enough.
I did hear about that, and I was quite shocked, but I'm not going to discuss it here. I thought it was a bit silly for what you were asking for. It's alright.
I mean, I can only ask.
You can only ask, and you can only try. It's worth a try.
Exactly.
Let's see what happens. Well, I think
I'm just hoping that player doesn't get picked and we get him.
Okay, yeah, I get ya. It's alright.
Yeah. So what do we really... You think, so from what I'm hearing from my, sort of, an understanding of what's going on, is the salary cap, it doesn't allow you to, have more than, you're allowed to have 5 golds, that's correct?
Yeah.
5 golds, and you're not allowed to have 4 golds, 4 gold backs, 1 gold forward, that correct? Or 4 gold forwards, 1 gold back.
So basically what it's supposed to be is you can have 4 golds, 2 max of forward, 2 max of backs. But then if you have a player that's played their entire career at your club, you can get an extra one. What a couple of the clubs didn't realise is that extra one doesn't apply unless you already hit the cap of 4. So you can't have 3 backs, 1 forward, or 3 forwards, 1 back. And that's what 2 clubs made the mistake of, and we tried to give the exception. And the same thing applies for silvers, which is what happened to Raiders. But Raiders abided by the cap and lost Laumu because of it. So I offered to give Laumu to them to let the other 2 get their player too.
Yeah, Laumu, I think that's fair, but I thought it was they breached the cap. I thought it was like they were over the number of cap.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure both the clubs are actually under the number.
Oh yeah.
Like it's kind of hard to be over the cap if you don't have the 5 golds, I reckon.
I don't even think Souths are over the cap when we have 5 golds. I think we've hit it perfectly.
I think with Laumu we would have been perfectly on the cap.
I think we're like 1,050. No, 953.
Well, that's way under. I think if all 3 rookies don't count towards the cap, we'll be at like 900. But
I think it's 2 of them don't count, and then the next rookies, the other 15 count.
yeah, we'll be at like a 957 then.
Yeah, fair. So we'll preview the finals now with. So is the first game Manly v Cowboys, or is it?
Yeah, this.
Yeah, Manly v Cowboys. So we have the Manly v Cowboys game. So I'll run through the changes for both sides. So the Cowboys, they have not many changes that I can see. Chris Lord moves back to prop. Wallace and Wells retain their spots at lock and hooker respectively. And I can't really say anything else. Is there anyone thoughts on why the Cowboys would have Lord at prop rather than having him at lock?
No clue.
I have no clue.
It could possibly be the Matty what's it called? The Matty thought in that like he's got to make it to the next round of finals no matter what. Like he's got a second chance either way, and he just wants to keep his team healthy rather than going to the finals. I'm not sure.
Maybe that's a good idea, but I mean, if you're really that concerned on having an injury to Chris Lord, if you're having an injury to Chris Lord, then why would you if Chris Lord is if they lose the game because of having Chris Lord there, then maybe it's like they've still got to have that game in if they rest him tonight and in this game and then they play him in the finals week 2 lock and he gets hurt, well, there's no difference, is there?
Yeah. I really can't fathom an idea of why they've done that.
Maybe it's to reward Kieran Wells. I don't know. It could be around that because they can't fit Kieran Wells and Thomas Wallace both at the 9 jersey unless Wallace is at 13.
Wouldn't you do that, but like during the regular season? Like I don't know why you would do it.
But they want, but because I think Wells has been inactive for a bit and it's been they just want Wells to. I think Wells played pretty well there, so that's probably why.
Yeah, it's an odd decision, to say the least.
Yeah, agreed. I'm surprised Kobe Johnson's still out in the centres.
Oh, he didn't play a terrible game, you know. Like he
didn't, but he's most damaging in the second row.
Oh, definitely, and we saw that from the Eels last season. But look, if that's what they want to keep doing, like it's been working for them so far. So
yeah, I mean, we saw last week the Cowboys won by 1. I mean, it did work, but they're gonna need to step up a bit more against Manly if they want to win.
who are they versing?
They're versing Manly.
No, I meant
they verse the Eels.
Eels. Okay, yeah. What was the next game, Liam? Oh, Liam's just gone AFK. So let's bring these up ourselves. So the next game, I believe it's between the Rabbitohs and Broncos, if I'm not mistaken. It is, yep. So the Rabbits are have a pretty similar lineup to last week's. I don't believe there has been any changes. If there has, I apologize in advance, Liam.
Hold on. we've still got to go through the Manly side before
Oh
we do.
yeah, sorry, I forgot about that.
And then we've got to go through our tips and all that. So Manly, they have. Buddy, is there any changes for you guys this week?
Nothing really but the force change, which kind of shuffled everyone around. So with Jesse Bennett getting injured, I brought Blackburn into the second row, Malachi, Booth, Velvet Thunder into the centres, and came back onto the wing.
Yeah.
And then obviously I moved back to lock as well.
Yeah, and K moved to 5'8".
Oh, well, K will be playing halfback on field. It's just how it's lined up there.
Oh. Yeah, I never get that. Like sometimes
Comish,
you.
I think
Oh.
Comish thinks in his head sometimes. I think Comish's way of evaluating it is, for some reason, he always likes to put the 6 at 7. He puts a 7 at 6.
Yeah.
No, that's actually just the game. In the game, the
Nah,
halfback
it's not.
comes before the 5'8". It actually is. When I send my team list, I do it like that, how it would show in the game.
Hmm.
'Cause,
So you-
initially, when the game first came out, when you put the 6 there, they put them on the right side. So their change was just swapping the 2 in the menus. It was so weird.
Oh wow. Well, the 6 and the 7. That's why I usually name mine. I usually name the opposite. So.
Yeah, same here.
Well, we haven't been doing that most this season. For some reason, Jai's been changing it. Hasn't been having Isaac at 6 when Isaac should be at 6.
Yeah, because he's a fullback primary, so he technically should only be playing 6.
But apparently, Comish, from what I've heard, Comish doesn't really care too
No.
much about. They can play either position, the halves, really.
Like halves are halves.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter. It's all or 4. So it would be
Yeah.
the same thing. So
It's
what's our
pretty
tip,
stock
boys?
standard.
Have we got any
How was this?
the Seagulls v the Cowboys?
Yeah. Fuck. Mate, I'm gonna go Cowboys 1 to 12.
Yeah.
Yeah,
course
gonna go Cowboys 1 to 12 and Chris Law to score a try, mate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna see an upset happen today. Oh, not today. I don't know when they play. Sometime. I'm gonna see an upset happen. I'm gonna be happy too.
I think this game's gonna be really. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a really good game. Like I think both number ones are incredible players. They're gonna be. I think they'll cancel each other out though. I think the back three, the Moscow and Kumbolo, will cancel out with KCK and Clay. I think Gronk and Johnston probably got an advantage, but there's not much to split these two sides, and I think the forward pack of Manly is why I'll probably tip Manly to go to win the game and go straight to the grand final. I think their forward pack is outstanding, and it will be very hard to beat.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think it's not too different from the last time Manly and the Cowboys versed, and that we all know how that ended. And I just don't see them overcoming the forward pack, as you said, Liam. So yeah, I'm gonna go Manly, probably 8 to 12.
Fair.
I think it's no surprise I go Manly 1 to 12. I go Velvet Thunder with meat pie as well.
Where's this Where is this Velvet Thunder even came from? Like, what? Could you
It's reference.
explain like why is he being called Velvet Thunder?
Honestly, man, we just seen him. He's this big black dude. He reminds me a lot of a character from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He made
Yeah.
his own nickname, Velvet Thunder, and it just stuck. And then there's a whole play on words. Velvet Thunder is fast as lightning, and he's got like 99 speed too. So I went with that, and like I think the Raiders game where we come back 12-0, Velvet scored the match leveling try, and just our whole voice chat was just yelling Velvet Thunder as he's going over the stripe. I was just like, you know what, this is sticking, it's staying. I think you were there for that, Butters, weren't you?
I was, yeah. It was a fun time in the chat. I think that whole game we were basically going, oh, Requise isn't really doing much, and then as soon as he scores,
Yeah, who the hell is
Velvet Thunder.
Request, by the way? Like, I know it's a clip from COD, but like, who is
Literally.
it? Who is it?
It's the same guy. We have two nicknames. Requise is when he does the damaging hit in defense. Velvet
I
Thunder
think
for a good
Requise
running
was.
attack.
I think Requise was originally meant to be when he doesn't like do all that well.
No, I think I just call him Malachi when he does that.
Okay.
So he's got his real name and two nicknames. It's weird, but
yeah,
we love it. It's in our voice chats when we do our watch parties. It's good fun.
Is Malachi even active in your chats, or is he like the most?
I swear this was the first message in the chat today.
Yeah, he actually he messaged today talking about me being our best player. So I was like, okay, I like this guy.
that was the first time he's messaged, wasn't it?
I think he's messaged a couple of times about his own player. Like he wanted to see what he looked like and what his stats were.
Oh yeah.
Oh, because he's got his profile picture, doesn't he? As his.
Yeah, he does not look like Malachi, but not at all.
What do you mean by that? What, his own guy? Has he sent a photo of his own guy?
No, his photo is like himself, I believe. It looks nothing like his in-game character.
Malachi Boo's profile picture on Discord. That is not him.
I haven't seen it.
That is not him.
I'm pretty sure.
TikTok.
I don't even know that.
It's called named Jaya. He's a TikToker, and that is not Malachi Booth.
Oh wow, bro. Well, I think just Manly will probably just run over the top. I think the Cowboys have the chance though to win this game. If they win this game, I think that's huge. This will be huge for them because don't they get the home final? No, they won't get a home final. What am I on about? I think it'll just be huge for them if they can win this game, and they don't have to worry about playing next week. They'll get a week off, week refreshed, but I think Manly will just be too strong, as I said. What about the form, though, Chaz Dingo's in? Like, he's one of the best players in the comp. If not the best player in the comp.
Chaz is one of those players that just could play any position and still make it his own. Like, he's a freak.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I reckon you could play him anywhere in the spine and he's going to go perfectly.
Yeah. So I think Dingo's just going to be a really good addition for this Manly attack, but like he always is, and it'll always give this Cowboys side troubles. But I think what do you think the key is? I think it's personally defense, how each side can defend.
It always is defense to me.
Yeah.
Like all my boys know defense is the thing I want us being perfect at. I'm a very harsh critic on like basically any break. And when they happen to my player, if I don't cover that hole, I'm like, yeah, that's on me, boys. I got to pick up. But yeah, defense is always the key factor in games.
It always pisses me off when someone misses a tackle in our team. Like I'm very harsh if someone misses a tackle. Like I think I didn't even notice it until after the game, but I think after you, I don't know if I should be saying this publicly, but I kind of regret not doing one of the requests Jai McCartney gave us before he left. Because
What was that?
He said that he would give him one game in the halves, bench Ash for one game, and if he's not good, kiss me goodbye. Or if he's good, keep the train rolling. And I'm
Which game was that?
it was the Manly game.
I mean, yeah, I can see why you didn't do that because
I can
for
see
Manly,
why we didn't do it, but if I had known Ash and Isaac were going to leave at the end of the season, I would have done it with no brainer.
Oh yeah,
Because I know McCartney's loyal to the end.
it
He's
was
one of
it
the
was
he's one of the most loyal players in the SRL. Like I don't think you have to worry about him leaving.
You know the saying, hindsight can be a.
Hindsight is always a thing. Like definitely is, and yeah, I think McCartney's been a huge loss for us through the middle. Well,
definitely when you see how well he's been doing at the Warriors.
yeah,
They're like a different side. It's crazy since he's gone there. It's a really tough loss for you guys. But yeah.
yeah. So
So,
we'll move on to the next game of the round of the final series, which is the Rabbitohs v the Broncos. So run through these two sides. So the Rabbitohs first. I know personally the only change we've made is Lamu swapped sides with Mendonca, and I believe that was the only. And Ash and Isaac have swapped places.
Mm.
So those are the only two changes
yeah,
that
it's
we've
pretty
made.
self-standard.
And the Broncos, the Broncos changes, they have made none that I can. Oh, Dan Mason gets a go at starting lock for some reason. Jason Farah goes to the bench. I don't know why the Broncos aren't sticking with their last team list. Like, I don't see a thing wrong with that. I don't know
Well,
why.
Jason hasn't been playing too greatly, and I
I
think
thought
that's
that was his best game. Like, I didn't think there was a need to change it.
yeah. But in an elimination final, you want
Bro, Dan Mason is an inactive.
is he?
Yeah, I was actually
Yes.
about to mention that. Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, then. But still, like, I think
What
they're
would you
just
rather be
trying.
playing an inactive, or would you rather be playing Jason Farrow, who's been around the club, who
Yeah,
upgrades each week and contributes? I'm pretty sure
well,
Dan Mason's a 60 overall.
mm, well, as we've been saying about the Broncos for the past couple of weeks, they're not in the right state of mind. I hate to say it because I love some of the members down there. You know, Pete, Levi. I think they're really great, hard-working players, but I just don't think the club's in its right state of mind at the moment.
I don't know
Yeah,
what it
not
is.
making the smartest choices there.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
So,
for
yeah, I think it's an easy win for the Rabbitohs. I think definitely they should win in the middle.
Oh, I don't know, man. I still worry about some of the silly errors we made last week. Defensively, some of our defense was awful in spaces. We got to be better in a lot of areas. Like I thought it was a disgraceful performance to that jersey. Like, got to be better.
Yeah, but this is also one of the weaker formats. So I think you should win around the middle for this game at least.
There's always the hoodoo of playing the team 2 weeks in a row. Normally, the one
Yeah.
that loses the previous week wins the next.
I hope that's true.
Although the fourth place winning the comp is also a thing, so
It
who
is,
knows?
but
Which is the stronger of the
you
two.
can't give it. I don't know if you can really count that anymore because the final structure's changed.
Yeah.
and it's not like it was it's fourth v first now. It's now fourth v third, second v first. That the loser of second v first gets a second chance. That's like it's I don't know the fourth. It's gonna be way harder for fourth place to do well.
To win, yeah.
I mean,
Because
if they do, they're gonna definitely earn it.
yeah,
Oh,
they'll earn it easily, bro. Like if they, I'll give full credit to Broncos. They come out with if they win the comp, like that would be a huge effort if they.
To be fair, you'd have to give the same props to Rabbits if they did it.
Yeah.
Because you would have to win the same amount of games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope
But
we.
talking about that format, I think it's a really good format.
It
really
is.
Yeah,
like
I feel like this format should have been there from the get go, but
Yeah.
can't change the past.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, for sure. When we talk about form fullbacks of the game, I think Sam Herbern's got to be up there, and I think he's shown again why he's a great player and why he'll be very good why he'll be a huge reason the Broncos win, why he'll be a part of that last
Well,
week.
I actually disagree. When we're talking form, I don't think he is a form fullback. I think he had one good game, but I don't think that makes you a form fullback. Um, he's
Can't go past Bunty.
yeah. Bunce and Bingo are the two former fullbacks. And I would even closely follow that up with yourself, Liam, and Armatangi for the Cowboys. I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong there,
Amatangi's been really good, I'll give you that, yeah.
like I think Herbin on a good day is amazing. He would tozzle up there for the best fullback in the comp, but those days are too rare.
Urban on a good day won us a premiership. He's great.
Yeah.
He's great on a good day.
On a good day, Herman's incredible. I mean, did you guys see I know you guys, because you both play for Manly, you would have saw it, but Buddy Bunce's ball playing skills, some of the balls he was giving, some of the plays that Warriors are running for Bunce, and some of the balls Bunce was giving was just incredible. Like,
Mm.
I said it to
just,
Bunty after the game. I was terrified every time he touched the ball.
he's such a good player. Like, there's no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Something I noticed about that game was TJ Ashford loved to dart near the line. No, was it who was it dummy half? Was it Ashford, right?
Yeah, I had a few choice words about that play. Poor defense.
Yeah, it was shocking.
He loved to. Yeah, I noticed though. He darted like 3 or 4 times after it when they were near the line.
I think it's just they got some really solid quick play the balls, and if both the markers are out, why not run? And he took those chances.
Yeah, he definitely did. So what do you use? What do you do? Has anyone really got a smoky hot take for the final series? I want to hear any smoky hot takes.
I think the Rabbitohs could end up like winning the grand final by a lot. Like that's what scares me the most. It's really the Rabbitohs, not so much the Cowboys. I think they've grown a lot in the past couple of weeks. Yeah, last week they didn't have a great game, but on a good day they could wipe the floor with almost any team. And I think if we end up making the grand final, even the second round, and we're versing the Rabbits, I think I'll be a little scared for us.
That's a fair call. I think that the way we'd win a grand final is through the kicking of Isaac Edwards. Like, Isaac Edwards' kicking would have to be on point if we want to win a grand final. Like, I'm just being up front. Like, I just don't know if there's another. And I think I'd have to be on my game too. Like, a lot would have to go our way to beat Manly, and I think there'll be a lot has to go everyone's way to beat Manly.
Yeah.
Thank you. It means I've made a good side, and I do appreciate any kind words like that. As a captain, I can't really say I have any hot smokies because any of my predictions are just what I want, and it's just Manly.
That's fair.
If I come out as a captain and say I think another team's going to win, I shouldn't be a captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, which team are you most worried about?
I said it on Jackie's podcast. Cowboys have to be it. Chrissy Lord's done a great job there, but at the same time, I don't underestimate anyone. Anyone can win on any day. Like finals is finals. It's a new season basically. We're going to be prepared for everything, and yeah, it's gonna be one hell of a final series.
I think it definitely will be. So, who do we think, is there anyone that we think is going to have a huge final series, going to break out of their shell? I think I've got a couple. I mean, I may be a bit biased here, but I think Drake Brannigan's going to break out of his shell and really show the SRL what he's about. I think he'll have a huge final series.
I think Carl, for the Broncos, I think if the Broncos are to make it to second round or grand final, he's going to have a really big part in that. He hasn't really shown much at the Panthers or the Broncos so far, but I think he has amazing potential. Yeah.
Well, Manly, I'll go Joshua Blackburn. He's one of our unsung heroes. He proved when we played Cowboys last, he can play fullback. Yeah, he was one of our first re-sign. I reckon he's in for a big one.
You do. I think another one that I'd really say is in for a huge final series. I've always counted him as a good player. I think Jamal Kasaka. I think he'll run for 180 meters in all games. I think he's a huge reason to. I think he's an incredible back row, and he's finally getting the credit he deserves being on a good team.
I hope he doesn't this week.
I think that you definitely wouldn't hope that.
No.
I would not be happy. Not at all.
In fairness, though, we've seen games that teams can win a game. Like Rahul Kawal in Origin ran for 200 meters in I think all 3 games, but Queensland still were able to win 2 of the 3 games. I think.
Don't remind me of that, please. I think it's just because I wasn't playing lock. Okay. No.
I can't even remember who played lock that. Oh, it was Jordan Williams.
Yeah, he actually played really well at lock, so that is a complete joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, those left edge second rowers like to chew up the meters.
They're evolving. Like I think there's been such an involvement from the second rowers are getting better season by season. I think they're going to be a huge part of the future of the SRL.
Same with the centers.
You do?
Yeah.
How do you think the centers are going to evolve into more ball? Because I still don't think they're getting too much ball.
See, it's generally just the placements. Once those centers get their speed up, their sidestep up, like the wingers do, there's those the scrum plays. You can get that left edge center. I mean, through that gap, if he's got the speed, he's scoring just like a fullback would off the scrum. Given that right edge center some ball happens quite often. If you have that sidestep and sprint speed up, you're going to score. I think we actually had a rookie early in the season. score a damaging run. I think it was against Penrith, round 2. Was it Ryder Chisholm? I think his name was.
Yeah, he was good.
He stepped, broke a tackle, and he was a speed demon, so he had the speed behind him as well, and then just dragged himself over the line. I was like, man, that's a really good try for a centre.
Definitely, yeah. I remember that one actually. Yeah, he was a very good try. Sad to see him go.
I mean, we did get Velvet Thunder in replacement, so.
Oh, disrespect, man.
I mean, it's a necessary evil to get rid of him, but
Fair.
I do still wish he was active though, because he looked good. He was a big boy though.
Oh yeah, I
Hmm.
remember Jack
was
O'Neill saying on the commentary box, he's a big boy. I remember him mentioning how big of a boy he was.
He was the tallest there is, isn't there? Like he was the max height you could be.
Was he?
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, there's a reason why I've subbed him off at halftime to give him a spell at the props, because
Yeah,
even the props are going to look like wingers compared to him.
yeah.
He
Now,
was just massive. Like, it was incredible.
Absolute menace, he was. Absolute menace.
That is what
Yeah.
you're saying?
I was just gonna ask who's our two teams who we think are gonna make the grand final, and who do we think are gonna win?
Well, I think all three of us are gonna be pretty biased on that one.
Which teams do you think?
I'd like to beat Rabbits 2 grand finals in a row.
Yeah,
And I'd like to I'd actually like Manly v Rabbitohs too, but I'd like us to be winning this time.
yeah.
Well,
I
I don't
think-
think I can allow that.
I'm gonna have to agree with Matty here.
I think I'm gonna need to give you some money to make sure that
Huh?
you will. No, I'm just kidding, mate.
Maybe some side agreements.
Just a bit of a check on the side, mate.
Like,
Pull a little storm.
don't do what Dingo did last season.
Oh, that's rough.
No.
Oh, oh, he's a good man. Butters, definitely do it for me, mate.
Butters bench? No.
Hey, if I'm bench, I'm still playing.
I'll cut that off at the head.
I think Rabbitohs.
It would be more of a hindrance if we benched him. We'd be playing against ourselves there.
If I do get benched, then I'll definitely be doing.
That'd be fair enough.
I guess we'll leave it at that one. I think Manly. I think all four sides though. It will be an incredible final series, and I think that all four teams can win the grand final, which is the great thing about this final series. That I think anyone can win it.
Yeah, I mean, like you've seen a big comeback from the Broncos, who were second last like 2 weeks ago.
Were they second last?
Huh?
Were they
They were second or
last?
third, I believe.
I think they were second last at the resumption of the season after Origin.
Oh, so maybe 3. It's on me. But yeah, they've had a good past 3 weeks. The Rabbitohs have been top 4 contenders all year. Cowboys have surprised everyone this season with their consistency, especially in their new halves of Moana and Rohan. Yeah, it's a very close game.
For sure.
Gonna be
I think that wraps up the episode on what we've got on the agenda today. Thank you everyone for joining in tonight. Thank you Matthew Harris. Thank you Joshua Butterfield. Thank you Tim